Apparently, everyone wants to be loved. Therefore, everyone needs to love in order to love. We need to be love in order to love. Water has to be wet in order for water to operate correctly. Electricity needs to be as it should be in order to operate things. Clothes need to keep us warm, so they need to be of a certain material to operate as such. So for all the body minds in the whole world to operate as love, because everyone wants to be loved, the body mind needs to be love in order to operate as love. However, the majority of the human beings alive today and previous lifetimes have not been operating as love due to the self-contraction, due to ego. And how do we operate? The majority of the human race, including you, possibly right now, observe yourself, understand yourself, is their lives are based on being reactive. Always reacting throughout the day. Not just physically, but mentally. Much of the time, possibly more mentally than physically. Reaction, being reactive to the daily arising of conditions, is not good. It's definitely not love. A reaction has absolutely nothing whatsoever to operating as love. Being love. Being like the open hand. Embracing all of conditions, no matter what. And from this place, we can respond to the conditions of life rather than react to the conditions of life. The results could often be the same. The process can often be the same, but the disposition is different. And because that disposition is different, this embracement, living like an open hand, one's relationship with the world and its arising conditions is sane. There's sanity. There's intelligence. Are you reacting right now? Are you being the object of love right now? Is your inherent quality, which it is, love, being love right now? What I'm saying is true, that the majority of the human race, lives are based on reactivity, emotional reactivity. I want my way. I want to be left in peace. I don't want to be disturbed. And one of the big dramas of this reaction is isolating oneself. And possibly taking on so-called spiritual life. Spiritual life is only about a disposition that embraces all of the arising conditions right now. You're like a cup, and it doesn't matter what goes inside that cup. It's been embraced. You're not reacting. You're not pushing it away. Go away. Leave me alone. Or going inward, withdrawing. Going to your own little world. Being narcissistic. Dwelling on yourself. Meditating on yourself. Blaming others. Is your body-mind capable of living as love? It is. It is capable. But not until this disease, this contraction, this reactivity, what Ali Dar, my teacher, calls the dreaded gumbo, ceases. It's got to cease. It's got to stop. Much of our reactivity is very subtle. We don't know that we're doing it. So find this out. Find out that you are living a life of unlove due to your reactivity to the conditions of life. And then you might do a radical change of destiny by falling in love. You have to fall in love with a teacher. You have to fall in love with the enlightened master. You have to fall in love with the guru. You have to fall in love with the divine person. You have to fall in love with your true self. Out of love with this, in love with this. If you awaken to this principle, then you will love one another. And your emotional, sexual lives will cease to be problematic. Your friendships will become love. All this armoring, all this defending of yourself, it's all released. You become vulnerable. So, understand your life to be a life of reaction to the arising conditions of life. You can't control. There is no controller. It's just as it is. It's a radical way to live. Radical because you're transcending reactivity. You're replacing reactivity. And you'll be your true state of already happiness, joy, delight, and intimate. Thank you for listening.